Hello everybody, Skater Nate, aka Nate the Builder here, and what you're about to see today is strictly confidential. Today we're going to be building a Minutemen weapons production facility. So let's just jump right into it. Time out, did anybody hear that? Oh, it was the Brahmin. I mean, not the Brahmin, the Radstags. I thought it was a Yao guy for a second. Okay. So we're here at the Tavington Boathouse, and this building is going to be perfect for what we're about to do today.
Hi, how are you?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a floor to level this out across here, and this is going to be our warehouse that we use to build weapons. So we're going to go into the warehouse tab here, floors. And this is going to be a little bit tricky, a little finicky to get everything laid in here. But once it all goes, it's very nice. See that now? How before it didn't want to fit, but now it gives me a spot that it will. We're just going to keep fidgeting with it all the way down until we get it where we want it to be. So we're just going to come back here, grab this to readjust a little bit. Not quite like that. Alright, it's being real picky all of a sudden. So what we're going to do is we'll stay in the warehouse tab here. We're going to grab one of these. And something just set off a mine outside, it sounds like. So, if I can... looks like this side's going to be easier to finish out first. Maybe. There you go. And then we'll just have one piece. Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. If I can. Beautiful. Beautiful. That wasn't too hard. And then we're gonna sink this down about right there. And I want it to be tied up against the end here. And that looks really good. And that's what I didn't want to do. Don't need to take any extra rads right now. It's a little bit twisted, so we're going to straighten this out just a tad. Come on, work with me here. Work with me. So to raise up and down like this, I'm holding the A button on Xbox along with the left bumper and using my joystick to go up and down. But when I let go, it's going to go wherever it wants to. So just get a different angle, re-grab, and sometimes that'll help. In this case, it wasn't working out too well for me. Still a little bit off on my angle here, but let's see how this is going to work out. Because what I want to do, still need to readjust that angle because I want to wall this off right here. I think I can live with that as long as we aren't I can use the rug to put this wall right where I want it. Just need to find a nice flat spot like this right here. Scroll all the way down to my preferred rug of choice. Right there. And then hold A to select all. And that looks perfect, just like that. And hopefully the game will be forgiving enough to let us put one of these walls right up there. I should have done, I should have done this out here before rug glitching into place. We learn as we live, don't we? And just square that up as best I can. Whoops. Beautiful. Save that rug for later. Oh man, this already just looks like a great warehouse. I wish I could open these doors, but I can't, so we'll just have to work around that. Let's see, something else I want to do real quick, so I want to move these over. You'll see why eventually. Alrighty, so now we're going to give this place some power so we can get some lights in here so that if it starts to get dark on us, we'll be able to see just fine. And for power, we're going with the big boy because, well, we're going to need it. And this will fit in here. It just needs a little bit of coaxing is all. There we go. Oh, a little too far into the wall there. Just want to double check outside here and make sure that we're not clipping through the wall. Looks perfect. Okay, where's our connection point? Right there. thinking about trying to use some of these conduits, but I'm not very experienced with them. So I believe there's some of these pieces that are supposed to be able to go through the wall. I could be wrong. Like that, maybe? No. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to do these conduits this time. I'll have to experiment with those more, and in a future build, we'll definitely break them out. So where do I want to run my wires? Can I... If I were to go... here? Here. And jump for joy. And then, let's see, I've got a recruitment beacon already set up that I want to make sure I get power to as well. What would be the best route to do that? I think if I go up and around. Is there a hole? There is a hole in the ceiling right there. So maybe I can come up to here through this hole. Just like that. And there we go, because we're going to need lots of settlers for this one. Alright, now to get started on the main part of our build here. Oh, that's right, I said I was going to add some lights just in case. What would be some good warehouse lighting? I think the string lights, not the Christmas ones. These. Just really nice and bright lights. Oh yeah. And then we'll do the same at this end. Okay, we're going to go into furniture, shelving. And way down here are the shelves that I want to use. These really large ones, and I'm going to line this whole entire wall with them. So I'll move this down just a little bit to get that last one in place. So that way we have plenty of walkway here to access our generator. For some reason, this one just doesn't want to cooperate very well. Alright, we'll just do 3. I think that'll be plenty for what I have in mind here. Or actually what we'll try to do is, if it's going to overhang, we'll overhang on this side. There, just like that. Can I get you closer to the wall though? Yes, I can. Alright, so that's 2, 3, 4. So we're going to need 8 of these. So to put a bunch of these in and have it look somewhat like it's kind of unique and supposed to be there, I'm going to rug glitch these all the way down along these shelves here. So that way all that you really see is this sheet metal piece sticking out, and then we'll add random bits of junk on top of these shelves here, so it really looks like people are breaking down the scrap and storing it, and the only shelf you'll really see is this one on the end. And I think it's just a way that we can use a bunch of these without having it look so repetitive. So I'm going to need some mats for the floor. And I'm going to go all the way down here to these big rubber mats. Give myself somewhat of a straight edge to work with over here. All right. Now let's place our scrapping stations. So this is why we're going to need a lot of settlers. Kind of look down here. Looks pretty darn good. Pretty straight. Now we're going to move those in as far as our rug will let us. And then the only one, I don't really care too much for the looks of this one on the end here, but I can live with it for the rest of this. As I decorate the shelves, I could probably hide that a little bit. And that's good, we're not glitching through the back wall here. And I'll show you why it's important that I want so many of these. I'll explain that to you whenever we do the tour and show you how this thing's actually going to work. So now I'm going to decorate this wall with weapon racks, because that's what we make here. How can I get this? I may not be able to get this quite how I want it to be. Maybe if I go like so? Yeah, I think that'll work. And we'll hang some guns on those. Kind of show an assortment of what we build here. Then we're going to go under the power and manufacturing for this one. Machinery, I want a miscellaneous to start with actually, and I want the vacuum hopper. So this is the intake, the feed. Make sure there's plenty of space for all of our scrap workers right here. And then at the far end, we'll have the storage. And in between, we will have a weapons forge. Just that simple. For some reason, my power doesn't want to connect between the two of these. Okay, I guess that counts since they're connected here. I'm going to do a little bit more of a direct line so that way we're not walking through the power. Nobody's electrocuting their noggins. There we go. Then right about here, I think, is where I want to put the terminal. And then we will need... Let's see, I think I'm going to move this down just a little bit. Make sure that's straight. Alright, our power is all still connected to everything. So we need a storage box right here. And what I'm gonna do for that is one of these, so that way it looks like people are maybe sorting on top of this and feeding the machine. And this right here is the bulk of the build, other than decorating. So I'll keep you guys with me while I do some of the decorating. And I almost forgot, because we need a cooking station and a chemistry station to help us make this work. And this is just, it's not as useful early game, it's more of a late game build, because of just these resources are so hard to gather early on. Since I can't get rid of this, that's why I wanted to move these down, is because this chemistry station kind of fits into this corner nicely. And that gives me another spot to put a shelf. And let's see here. Furniture. I believe it's under containers. Put one of these big roller boxes here. Guess I can't put that box up there. That's alright, we'll find a spot for some of these to go. Oh, right here. Lovely. Okay, I just need a second to look and think at what I want to do next for decorations, because I'm going to have to do a run over to my workshop in Sanctuary to grab a whole bunch of my smaller items, and then I'm going to move a bunch of settlers in and get them all geared up. I'm going to store that. And add some weapons to this right here. Restricted area. And inside, we'll make sure, for morale, everyone remembers who we're doing this for. We're doing it for the good of the Commonwealth. But on the outside, I don't really want to give away too much because I don't want this place to be a target. And let's see, beds 12, that's enough beds. So we need, how many settlers do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 10 more settlers, and I currently have 4. So we need 8 more. One thing that's going to be fun as well, I'm going to gear these guys up. I'll show you how I do that. And since they're scavengers, they're going to be walking around with their guns out, so it's going to look like this place is really heavily secured. And for this build, I'm not going to worry too much about the outside at this stage. It's really just getting this warehouse up and running. And I haven't decided what I want to do with this building over here. That'll be for a later video. But for now, I just really want to have this weapons manufacturing warehouse because I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to head over to Sanctuary, where I store the majority of my junk. We're going to grab some junk to decorate with, as well as the weapons and armor that I want to decorate my settlers with. It's called accessorizing. I like that. It's heavy, but I like it. So I want to decorate this up before I get all the settlers in, because I'm going to have to drop my junk on the ground and reposition it, and that'll just be easier with less people walking around to kick my stuff around. So rather than one by one trying to square up each piece, and how I'm changing which way to rotate this is I'm pushing in the left stick. So rather than doing each piece like that, I'm going to go into my inventory here, into my junk. I'm going to drop a fair amount of it on the ground, go into my workshop mode here, and now when I grab it in workshop, I can set it down right side up. And there's no real order to this that I have in mind. I'm just trying to fill these shelves up, make it look like people are working here, storing things, storing the gear, just all the stuff that we would like to break down. That's fine. Now for this shelf, what I'll do So I'll place an item there, and then I'll pick it up, and then move the item to the shelf that I want. And then I'm just going to repeat this process until I've decorated all the way along here, and then maybe even throw a few things onto this shelf as well. I think we've reached our limit for placing junk, so I'm just going to pick the rest of these up and hang on to those. We can actually deposit them into here, but I'm going to wait. And I totally forgot one important, very, very important piece to this build. Since we're doing weapons, we need a nice weapons workbench here. Not that one, but that one. And for now, I'm going to store all of my junk in here. Careful, fella.
Those uglies will
Careful.
think twice before messing with us.
Alright, I'm going to go get some gear to gear these guys up. And then once I'm ready to add the rest of the settlers, the scrappers. Oh my goodness. Oh, the minutemen. The minutemen came. Hello.
General.
It's good to see y'all. So over here in Sanctuary, I like to store all of the decent armor, weapons, clothing, and things like that that I find to add to my settlers to deck them out. So we're going to start with weapons. So here I'm at a settlement which has a lot of extra settlers just standing around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 8 of them. So when I highlight the settler, I can press X to move, and then I can select Egret Tours Marina. There's 1. Two. 3. 4.
Just wanted to trade a few things.
Okay.
Alright, so this guy that's floating right here, or I guess he's kind of standing on his buddy. I'm going to take that from him. I've already given him the hardened sniper rifle, which I equipped by pressing the Y button. And 1 round of ammo. All you need to do is make sure that they have a round of ammunition for that weapon in their inventory, and they will be able to have infinite ammo for that weapon. But if they do not have even the 1, then they won't have any ammo to be able to fire this weapon. And then we'll go to apparel. And, whoops. And I could give him this right here, this helmeted spike armor. We'll go ahead and do that for this first guy, and then just equip. And now he's fully kitted out. And then I'm going to take this back from him so he doesn't switch back to it.
I just want to trade a few things.
Go ahead.
And then the other look I'm going to be going for, it's more of a military look. So you can equip armor pieces piece by piece. Let's see if I can find my... There's a left arm for him, left leg, and then somewhere in here I have a right arm and a right leg for him as well. So now he's fully kitted out. So what's going to be fun is we're going to have a bunch of these guys walking around with their guns out.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
Once everybody gets here. So now I'm going to sleep for a couple days. And then use the bell to see if everybody's arrived. Alrighty guys, now it's time for a quick tour and then we're going to fire up the weapons manufacturing plant. So obviously it's a restricted area. Keep out or
can't talk now.
Exactly. You know, everybody here
Farming's
is very well armed.
I used to be
We've got
scared,
everybody
so
hard at work breaking scrap down to put into
back
our
hurts,
weapons
my
station.
feet hurt.
You know, we've got a chemistry station here, which we're going to need to use to make cutting fluid. And because of our purified water farms and the gathering of junk throughout our play here, we have plenty of supplies to make lots of cutting fluid. So I'm just going to make some of that right now real quick.
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
And you can see this place is just all about scrap and storing scrap and breaking scrap down. We've got our power plant here, of course. Over on the wall we have a little display of some of what's built here. And now I need to run over here where we have a cooking station and get us some adhesive. Thanks to all of our farms across the Commonwealth producing extra food, we were able to get a bunch of adhesive just then. So now, the thing with each one of these scrapping stations produces at least one junk per day. Because I have the scavenger perk, it might produce more. I'm not 100% sure on that. Up to a limit. There's a limit of how much junk can be in a workshop. It's like, I believe it's like 130 something pieces of junk that can be in your workshop at one time in order for the scrapping stations to still produce junk. Or it could be a lot more than that. I could be way off on my number. But just every few days, if you stop by, gather up all this extra junk. Which does take a second or two. I have some other things in here. If I cleared this workshop out to only have junk, I could just press the take all button. But we're just going to take all this junk and we're going to transfer it to this cabinet right here. Including the oil and adhesive that we just made. And now, let's watch. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. I forgot a very important step here. So, weapon forge control. I want to make for the Minutemen combat rifles. And it'll tell us that for the combat rifles we need 9 adhesive for each one, a lot of screws, and a little bit of oil. So having those adhesive farms is going to be just really helpful in making these combat rifles. So once enough junk of the right varieties enters the weapon forge will start to produce combat rifles. Watch out, Ada. And I'll stand here ready to inspect whatever comes out of the machine. Oh, there it goes. Combat rifle. We did it, folks. We made a short combat rifle, which we could then take over here and upgrade to be like one of these combat rifles hanging on the wall here. So there is a few drawbacks to this. The manufacturing plant.
Can't remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
Manufacturing only works. Trying to get a good spot. So there's a few drawbacks to this. The manufacturing only works while you're present at the settlement. So if it's a place you plan on spending some time, it's kind of a fun little addition so that your settlement is producing something. As far as my immersion into the game, it's technically running all the time in my head, in my imagination. And I'll just keep bringing junk here. So I'm going to quickly show you guys how the scavenging stations work. So I'll show you. There's no junk. I can't even go to the junk tab because there's no junk stored here. I'm going to go sleep for 24 hours.
Huh?
And then there should be a bunch of junk stored here. Alrighty guys, I've traveled around the wasteland a bit, past a few days. And now check this out. Junk. All this junk just appeared. This is what they found from scavenging. So periodically, just come back here, gather up all the junk.
Got a dangerous look about you.
Feed it into here.
Getting here for me.
And eventually when you have enough, it'll make a combat rifle.
Huh?
Go out here where it's a little more quiet. And let me know, guys, what you want to see done with this place. Any ideas that you might have. And I'll try to execute them. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And leave a comment what you liked about it, what you'd like to see more of. Maybe some other helpful tips and tricks. And that's really going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.